Welcome to Roll Q, where super nerds tell a great story with questionable accents. I'm your GM Q. We saved you a seat, so grab your dice and let's roll. We are rolling into the village of Barovia. We have just had our first glimpse of the castle, which is hovering on a cliff, almost a crag above the village. As you walk through, you're walking past farmland at this point, and there's nobody out tending the fields. You don't see a soul. Given the state of the crops, there should be people out there, and there are none. It's probably around 1 or 2 p.m., so the sky has brightened all the way to a very, very dull, dark gray. And as you start to approach this village, little by little, the muddy road you've been walking on starts to give way to cobblestones, little by little. It looks like this village has a barricade, a very haphazardly kind of thrown together barricade of bits of wood and broken furniture and anything they could possibly get to sort of guard this front entrance on the road. You can also see there's a couple of larger structures that are tall enough. There's one to the south, and then there is sort of a hill near the back of the village, which seems to have some kind of temple at the top. It looks, from what you can see, which is not a whole heck of a lot, looks like just a plain old village. But it's obviously a village that is under some sort of siege. As you get closer, you can see that there are crossbow men and women on the rooftops, kind of scanning around. They don't seem to have noticed you guys yet. And you see that there's about a half a dozen people outside fixing this barricade, putting things back together. There's one young man who seems to be in charge. He has shoulder-length blonde hair, a sort of 5 o'clock shadow type beard. He is wearing splint armor, and he has a long sword and a short sword sheathed on either side of him. So he is prepared should there be any sort of fighting that occurs. Is there anything you guys want to do as you're approaching here?
They don't look aggressive, do they?
They do not look aggressive. They look vigilant.
Are there bodies around?
There are not. You can see. No bodies.
Should we announce ourselves? Not sure I want to take a bolt to the face now that we found civilization again.
Hail, we come in peace. With the morning lord's blessings behind us.
Sam says that 2 of the crossbow guards kind of rush up to the front, and they're aiming. Not shooting, aiming. And the one is male, one is female, and the female says, "State yourselves, be ye alive or dead?"
That is a complicated question.
And if we were dead, I don't know that we could answer.
Well, as the young man speaks up and says, "Reza, easy. These ones are clearly as alive as we are." His eyes do flick to Sam, and there's a moment of not sure what he's looking at. And then there's a moment where he sort of seems to take the measure of you. Not in a sizing up kind of way, just in a seems in a state of slight wonder as he looks at you. And he says, "Please, be welcome. Welcome to Barovia. Come in, please. Forgive our mess."
I love what you're doing with it. It's so very rustic and bloody.
When you say bloody, he kind of... it is not aesthetic. It is for a purpose. Stonner, you can fix the rest of this? "Oh, yes, Mark, I can fix it." All right. Let me go ahead and just open up this part of the barricade. You kind of bang a pattern, and you hear something sort of unlatch from the inside, and it kind of slides open. And he says, "Yes, welcome in. It's not the best time for us to be showing our accustomed hospitality, but we are happy to see you and happy to welcome you. Would you permit me, as the welcoming committee, to buy you all a round of wine? We do have one tavern that is still operating.
Yeah, I love it.
Of course.
Okay.
Very well. Yes, yes, follow me. With a little bit of spring in his step, he starts to walk away from you. There are other barricades inside. There seem to be much less sturdy barricades blocking paths between houses. Lots of the houses have scorch marks or gashes in the wood. Some have collapsed roofs. It is still pretty cold. Has been cold the whole time. Not winter cold, and not winter in Daggerford cold, but somewhat chilled. There are two things you notice as you are walking past the villagers, of which seem to not be too many, or perhaps it's just not a crowded time. First of all, they seem haggard and haunted. Their clothes look like they have not been changed in a very long time, certainly not washed in a long time. Dark stains that could be mud or could be blood. Everyone seems to have a bow or an axe slung across their back. Even you see a couple people just with pitchforks. Ismark sort of is greeting each one by name. He sort of tries to give a reassuring smile, and their eyes flick to him, and they do say, hello to Ismark, but there's a vacancy there. The thing you notice is they are all human. You have not seen one person below human size, or one pointy ear, or anything other than what appear to be humans, which is not like really any place in the Sword Coast where you are used to being.
Mar, try to be taller. Okay, just walk a little bit taller.
So we're going to keep this going, are we?
It's just reality, sweetie. You've got it.
I think a lot of us stand up, but they wouldn't have invited us in if it were a specific problem.
This
These
is true.
people seem hard pressed. Perhaps they need our aid.
Eventually, it's not a very big village. You're approaching what appears to be the town square. It is not perfectly square. The roads, there are roads leading in each direction, but they're sort of skewed here and there. There are a handful of tents there. People in those tents seem to be very old or very young, or people that are taking care of those who are very old and very young. And they are wrapped around the centerpiece of the square, which is a very large statue.
Does the
What is
statue,
it a statue of?
yeah, does it look like the ones from outside the gate?
Great question. Not nearly so big. Those were great big statues. This is probably about maybe 15 feet from foot, and it's a warrior holding a sword aloft. Hair, shoulder length, beard. You do recognize, all of you, but Sam especially, that there is what seems to represent a amulet or some type of necklace that does have the symbol of the Morning Lord on it. So though you have no idea where you might be, it appears that the Morning Lord is something that they will worship as well. You get close enough to read the inscription on the base of the statue, and it reads, Ismark Antonovich the Great, Burgomaster of Barovia, Bane of Vampires, 618 to 662 BC.
How long ago would that be for us?
Sorry, ask that question once more.
How long ago would that be for us?
800 years?
Okay.
Yeah, if their calendar is the same as yours.
Do we recognize the BC part? You say
You don't. That's not something you've seen before.
Sorry.
Call to the man leading us. Is this a forebear of yours, perhaps?
Yes, indeed. Yes, I'm named after Ismark the Great.
I thought I caught that back at the gate.
Yes. He was a mighty warrior, our most famous Burgomaster of the town. In his prime, he fought scores of vampires and other undead that were left behind when there was a period of dormancy. He eventually died not from an undead, but from a direwolf. He was defending a group of trappers. He is my great-grandfather. My father, whose name is Kolyan, gave me that name in hopes that I would one day become a great warrior and a great leader. I'm not sure either has been the case, but I do try. We're here. He looks up, and there's a tavern. The sign on it is hung, seems to be a little crooked. It is called the Blood on the Vine Tavern, and it has a vine that appears to be, looks like it's probably a vineyard vine, but it does have very sharp thorns on it. He'll open the door for you. Please come in. When you enter, it's not very many people here. One guy in the corner, kind of head down, seems to be passed out already. There is a bartender behind the bar. He's bald, tall, missing some teeth. He sort of, "Oh, yes, Mark." And Ismark says, "Please, sit. There's only one big table, only one table that will fit the lot of you, so that's where you sit." Ismark will approach and say, "Round of wine for everyone, please." And he'll lay some coins on there. He'll walk over to you as he's unbuckling his sword belt, and he'll say, "Well, you must have 1,000 questions. We have a few hours until dusk, so I'll be happy to answer as many as I can. And then I hope you'll let me ask you a few questions. But please, you first. Guess first."
Just, I'm just wondering if there's anything other than wine, like spirits or, like something harder.
We don't know what spirits. I've not heard of this before.
It is stuff that, is harder? Don't know.
Like whiskey.
Yes, whiskey.
We do not have whiskey.
Like fire in mouth?
Heard of that before. No. Is that a metaphor? I hope.
I will take the wine. Thank you so much. Very much. I will drink it.
Very good. Eric will choose our finest for us.
I do not require a beverage. Thank you.
All
I'll
right,
drink
then.
his.
Yes, sure. Yes, it's. I'm happy you're all well met.
Where are
Everybody
we?
else. Sorry, go ahead, Gummer.
Where are we? We can't make hide nor hair of where we are, or why we're here, or what the mist is, or
Neither can we find our way back from whence we came.
And that is a strange clue. This absence of spirits seems to be the first absolute confirmation that we're somewhere quite strange.
Yes, and very important.
would any of us recognize even the title of Burgomaster? Like, is that a thing?
That's a good question.
No. What's a Burgo?
What
No.
is a Burgo?
It seems to be. Are you asking him?
Yes.
Yeah.
Start with the simplest one first. Burgo is a word in a dead language, actually, that's not spoken here anymore. It just means village. So the village master is what one perhaps might call it. I do have answers for the other questions. I don't think you'll like them. You are in Barovia. This village is called Barovia, but our entire land between mountains and the mists is also called Barovia. The mist, it seems that you have had some encounter with it. It is omnipresent. It is always there. It surrounds us and always has, as long as written records have been kept. I don't know quite how to put this, but it is very unlikely that you will find your way out of Barovia. I have heard tell, no, not met any, I've heard tell of groups such as yourselves who are from a different place who have brought here by mysterious means. I have never heard of a group being able to leave, apart from the Vistani, of course, and they are not allowed to bring anyone, out themselves.
Who
So,
prohibits them?
I'm sorry?
Who prohibits them?
The Lord of Barovia is, you probably saw the castle as you were walking in. The Lord of Barovia is one Count Strahd von Zarovich. He is the ruler in totality of everything you see within the mist. And it is he who has allowed the Vistani to be a single group that can pass beyond and back through the mist. None others can. It has been that way for as I said, all of written history.
So how do we become Vistani?
Unfortunately, it is something that one is born into. It's not something one can become. The Vistani are very welcoming. I'm sure you will meet them at some point. They are a traveling people. Their wagons very colorful, very hospitable. But they are themselves, and while they will welcome you to their fires, they will not. I have not heard of them welcoming anyone into their family, as it were.
We must petition the Lord for our release.
Yeah.
How do we speak with him?
So I suppose I'll come right out with it. Strahd von Zarovich is a vampire lord. He has been our ruler for over 800 years. He is not one that is petitioned, although he may be more likely, unfortunately, he may be more likely to speak to you. We were in a very long period where he had been asleep for 700 or so years. Fortunately, within the last few months, he has been awoken. And it has made everything. It was already sort of a very difficult life, and it has become hardly livable. Yes, is how I would put it.
Is this why your town is under siege?
Yes, we have. Last 6 nights, we have been under siege by hordes of undead of different types. They
Were any of them large babies?
definitely not any that I saw.
Well, good. You shouldn't have to worry about that one. We've got that one covered.
Yes, so
I mean, you're welcome.
we've not been. Thank you. We've not been plagued by any sort of undead children.
And now you won't be.
He has point. No, like, do you know anything about a monster house, like death house? This is what the
Durst family.
contest. Oh, yes, it would be better to say the Durst family house. What is death house? Do you know them?
I have. No, I've not heard the name first. I have. Where is this house? You call it?
Well, I don't know. The mist just, is somewhere.
Yeah.
You just show up. East.
I have traveled on the eastern road from here, the couple of miles that lead to the mist, to the gates, and I have seen no such house. We do not go through the mist.
Yeah, we learned that, but the mist followed us to the gate from the house.
To the mist followed you.
Yeah.
I mean, we are very important people. We are here to help, obviously, but I was wondering, are you missing someone from your group that on the way here, we saw a very tired, not living man no longer, looking like he lost his way. Are you missing someone?
And the horse.
Oh, the horse. He had a note, too.
Unfortunately, we are missing many. Too many for me to be able to make an identification with just a gender, or half our village is missing.
Yeah, the broken compass.
Copper.
May I see it?
I think I have
don't know who has it.
now. Yes, we found it with him. By all accounts, as far well, not accounts, but indications, seemed perhaps he had been riding himself to death and his horse as well on some sort of loop in the
Going in
forest.
circles. Yeah.
He will say, as I said, we are missing about half of our village. Some we presume dead, others we have no idea. As far as racing a horse to death in a circle, it is strange. But strange things are not so strange. Yeah, particularly in the last few months.
I believe these mists play havoc with our sense of time as well as our sense of space.
I do not doubt it. Do not doubt it.
We're not the first people who have shown up.
You are the first people that have shown up within my lifetime.
Oh.
We have heard tales, and
people show up.
I have read about them in history books. Burgomasters are required to keep logs, and if you read back far enough, there are some groups of people who seem well apportioned. You certainly seem like you can handle yourselves in a fight, and you seem to some of you, most of you, not to be human entirely. I have read of many of what I think would be your ancestors. Looks at Sam. Perhaps not. I have not seen your like, nor read about anything that is at all like what you appear to be.
I am unusual.
You certainly are. Yes, there have been tales of groups that have come like yours, and they do seem to have been brought by the mist, and some were apparently hired by Vistani to do something and then led into the mist. Others were simply sitting round a campfire, and the mist swallowed them, and they woke up here. I'm sure it sounds insane, but
I mean, we were just walking on a road.
Yes, but it was more than that, right? Because I don't think I was the only one in the mist, guided by a certain item. And I'll sort of pull out the amber thing. And some of the others of you, I think we seem to have the same. Does this mean anything to you? We seem to be guided through the mists by these objects.
It means to me, well, I would say it means to me that the Morning Lord has wished you to come, and that you will serve some. I regret the words, but perhaps you will be of some help to our people. Everything you say is new, and I have not heard about it, but as I said, everything is starting to feel a bit more normal in the worst way.
Where people are in need of aid, we are often called to follow.
We are certainly
Tell me
in
of
need
your
of aid.
problems.
Where to begin? It was about 3 months ago. There was a man from the village, a young man my age, called Doru. Doru's father is the village priest of the Morning Lord. You may have seen the temple on top of the hill as you came in. Doru did that he was going to raise a rebellion, that we Barovians had to fight for our freedom, and he led this rebellion all the way to the gates of Castle Ravenloft. That revolt clearly failed. None of those who went with Doru have been seen since. Then, the next day, we were visited by kind of looks a little bit at you, Lyriel, and just sort of, perhaps, to judge by the ears, perhaps a distant kin of yours, though his complexion was much different. And he told us that in exactly 90 days, we would be punished for our transgressions against the Lord Strahd. On day 91, the undead came. The first night was the worst. We had not set barricades. We did not know what to expect. Since then, it has been difficult, but manageable, I suppose. That has been 6 nights ago, and we have had an attack each night. Multiple waves.
How many have you lost?
Here in the village, 2 of these battles, we have lost a dozen more. About half the village left Barovia and headed for the next town west, which is Plea. And they headed there as soon as our sentence was passed down. Bismarck will say, many Barovians left because it was not safe. They hoped that it would be safer somewhere else. Even those who stayed have started to fear that the village is doomed. The undead have infested the woods in every direction, and those who would go to Velaki now cannot because the road is now blocked by these undead. So there is no escape.
Friends, we must help these people. The Morning Lord would not have moved us into their domain were it not for some greater purpose.
True. And then we have that letter from Strahd.
I'm sorry, you have what?
The
letter?
Dursts, yeah.
Yeah, the Durst family. He had a letter from Strahd.
You assume it was exceedingly cruel?
It was not pleasant.
It wasn't very nice. Do any of us
Yes.
still have the letter? Did any of us take it, or did we? We took everything. I imagine
guys took
somebody has
absolutely
the letter.
everything.
That piece of paper was too heavy.
Or Lyriel, I
I
feel
would
like
say
you
we
might
took
have it.
everything, unless it was bolted down. But I did take the portrait off the wall.
The baby did not like the picture.
No,
Nobody
he didn't
liked
like
that
the
picture.
Oh no, wait! I didn't do it. I didn't wind up doing that.
Oh,
I didn't
right.
show him the picture.
Yours. Mm-hmm.
He would have hated that.
Sam, do you have it?
Sam, check some pockets. I don't believe I
find it?
have it. Oh, I do have it. Very
We do
good.
have it. in
Wait,
fact.
do you have pockets? I thought you did not have clothes on.
He has a pack. He has a belt with pouches and things.
Yeah,
You gotta carry some stuff
Well,
somewhere.
I thought I liked Sam for a reason, but not because pockets. Let's say.
We've been opposite pickpocketing, just slipping things into your pockets.
That's true. You're quite weighed down.
It's a good thing we don't have encumbrance, because that would be a
Yeah.
problem for you.
Who's going to hold this? Sam?
Sam? I will take it. Sam produces the letter.
Bismarck will look at it and say, yes, this would be our Lord. I do not know the Dursts. I do not know of what he speaks, but the tone of the letter is...
I believe the Dursts perished some 300 years prior to your current date, if my reckoning based on your statue is to be trusted.
The statue is correct according to the Barovian calendar. I will say that the Barovian calendar begins with Strahd's conquest of this valley and all the land inside it. What's happened before Strahd is lost to time. At least it is here.
So it
There
could be
was
even
an
longer.
era before him.
There must have been, I suppose.
I'm somewhat interested in the era in between. I presume from what you've said that some magic, the mists or such, continued to prohibit you from leaving during the slumber, as you described it, of this Lord
Yes.
Vladimirovich. But what was so unpleasant about life here during that time that caused this other young man to rebel?
Well, the taxes we pay are very dear. There are those, of course, who serve Count Strahd for their own reasons. They come to villages like ours. They take what they wish. We try to fight back. They use the word Strahd, and we generally back off. We seem to have just enough food to survive. We seem to have just enough sunlight to grow crops. But there's never anything extra. Never. Every day is an existence of survival eked out. It is assumed that it is Count Strahd who is the reason for the grey skies and the mist, and all of this is somehow within his power.
What does he want? I mean,
He's a vampire,
to them.
probably blood.
Yes, but even if we make sacrifice, like Lyriel wants to, give of herself, would that be enough?
No.
Speak for yourself, Oksana.
We just met, I figure,
I have never heard any tales of Strahd seeking anything more than our complete subjugation to him, and to squeeze us cruelly in his hand for what appears to be his own amusement.
Cruelty is a delight to the vampire.
It's very, very cruel.
Has he himself been seen directly since this supposed awakening?
Not by anyone who is alive.
Good question.
I mean, I'm obviously not an expert on your local history, but is it possible that he's actually dead and some of his underlings are just using his name?
Possible. Yes. Seeing what I have seen the past 6 nights, and seeing people that I knew march to the castle and never return, what you say is possible. My knowledge of our history that it is unfortunately not plausible. We have never been attacked by undead, ever. And just days after this revolution set off, we were told it was going to happen. We were told the day it was going to happen, and happen it did. And it has not stopped. We are completely
Why did you not
trapped.
go with them?
When the rebellion. Well, I wanted to go. There's a part of every young person, I think, that wishes to go. My father forbade me. I do not always listen to him. It is, when my father passes, the title and responsibilities of being the Burgomaster shall pass to me. That's if I am alive. If not, they will go to my sister. My duty is to Barovia, this village, and to protect these people. It is not my duty to march and leave these people behind. It would seem that I made the right decision. No, I am here to protect this village and protect these people. From a table behind you, you hear a heavy fist hit the table. And you look up, and the man who was passed out is no longer passed out. He looks at you. Hair is oily and almost like he cut it himself with a knife. And he kind of looks through sullen eyes and he says, "It's a fool's errand to put your faith in Ismark the Lesser. Lest you seek better company, lest you wind up in the ground with the lost fools that trusted him. If you want to hear the real story of this bloody land, you're welcome at my table. The wine is shit, but so is everything else."
Speak if you are moved to do so.
Speak. It is true that over 3 months ago, a pack of would-be moronic revolutionaries marched off to slay the vampire. Slay the vampire, as if a thing is possible. Or filled their head with fairy tales. Should have known better. Father Donovich is no fool. None of them ever came back. And a few days later, this dusk-skinned person came to the village and told us that we had to make peace with our gods. Before the Lord of Castle Ravenloft was awoken, exacted penance. Smart ones left. He looks directly at Ismark when he says, any others wanted to leave. However, Ismark the Lesser delivered a resounding speech in the village square before the statue of his great-grandfather, promising the villagers that those who remained would stand and defend their homes. The audacity of this bastard. Standing in front of your great-grandfather's statue as if you were worth a tenth of him. I wanted to leave, but my stupid sister Marta and her stupidest husband Dragomir chose to stay. And they kept their son Peribel here as well, inspired by his words. I should have left. But even I thought, well, I should stay with my family. Perhaps we will be able to fight to defend what's theirs. We are bloody idiots all. The dead came, and the dead keep coming. And Marta... Well, Marta and Dragomir are among the dozen Barovians fooled into staying behind. They no longer draw breath. There is no son to bring back. Here this village is doomed, and likely all of the land with it. There is no escape from the mist. This is hell. Now and for all eternity. The sooner you lot accept that, the better off you'll be. Ismark does not say anything. He sits quietly, and eventually he'll say, he is right to hate me. I asked the other villagers to stay and defend our homes. I was arrogant and foolish. I did not appreciate just how powerful the devil and his creatures were. Now, dozens of my friends and neighbors are gone, and others are dead, and we, looking at Bildreth, are still here. He is right to hate me.
What word do you have of those who tried to leave? Have they fared any better?
We have no word.
Well, then I suppose the comparison between the two choices is yet to be resolved.
Can't be much worse than dead. But I suppose it could be an even chance.
It could be undead.
Could be cowardly and dead.
Neither is a comfort. He kind of looks at both of you and he says, as you are not from here, I would request humbly, as you are guests, that you do not judge. The door to the tavern opens again and a woman steps through. She's clad in a tattered and red bear cloak. Her hair's two loops that are very messy, very tangled. Her eyes are big and they sort of dart across the room. Comes into lighter, skin's very pale, eyes are blotchy. It's obviously she's been crying, and she'll say, Master Kolyanovich, I apologize for interrupting you and your guests, but I haven't seen Gertruda since last night, and Nori isn't in the stable. I think Gertruda's gone to Valaki, alone. Ismark kind of... How long... excuse me. He stands. How long has it been? When's the last time you saw her? It was last night after dinner. She was crying. That's all she's been doing since Dora left, and then she got this look on her face, and I told her to go to bed, and perhaps things would look better in the morning, and then when I woke up this morning, she was gone. And I've asked everyone in town if anyone has seen her. No one has, and if she is gone, and she took the horse, there's nowhere else she could be going. And she'll never make it to Valaki or the castle or anywhere. She'll never make it anywhere. And Ismark kind of puts his hands on her shoulders and he'll say, I'm sorry that you're going through this. I promise we will organize a search party to look for her. first thing tomorrow morning. If she did not make it to Vallaki, we will find her and we will bring her home safely. You hear the man in the corner. He spits. More empty promises, Kolyanovich? Have you lot ever seen anything so cruel? No one can survive on these lands alone. The girl's gone, Mary. I'm sorry. Mary will she sort of starts to rack and she's crying and there's no tears left to come out. And now Ismark will stand up and he'll say, "That's enough, Master Kentamir." Oh, enough. Are you going to put me in my place, Master Kolyanovich? Stop lying to the woman. The girl's as good as dead. We'll all be joining her soon enough. There is always a chance. You might have given up on our people, Bildreth, but I have not. Bildreth just he'll start to get up and sort of stumbles out. He'll say, "Mary, we will find her. All right? Let's get through the night. And those of us who will make it through the night, and then we will go and we will find her. All right?"
How many hours now until the dark?
He'll look outside. To you guys, it doesn't even look any different than it has. He'll say, 2. Yes, perhaps 2. I am. Oh, now would be the time when I do ask you directly for the help that you have offered. We have enough people to man the barricades on the west and the east. There's no path into the village north or south. I have enough people to man those barricades, but should anything break through, you saw around the statue those tents of the very old and the very young, and those who are sick and wounded, and they cannot defend themselves at all. What I would ask you to do is to, I will be at the western gate. We have sort of draw straws for who leads at the eastern gate, so we'll see who that will be. What I would like you to do is just guard the square. Perhaps you will not have to fight at all. But if something should break through, it is then that I will need your steel and your staff and all of your words and magic and whatever you might possess to help us. Will you do that? Will you guard the square?
I cannot stand idly by when others are in danger, especially against the menace of the undead. You have my sword.
Thank you, my friend. As none of you are under any obligation.
I'll help. I'll protect those that need it and not sit in the tavern getting drunk and judging everybody else. With a pointed.
I'm happy to hear that. If you stay in the tavern the rest of the night, you'll be quite lonely. Eric will have to man a wall as well.
No, I'll protect the square.
She's going, I will go.
Thank you. He'll look to Gummer and Cormac.
Of course I'm going.
Thank you.
I will look at Gummer and Lyriel and just sort of, I regret you seem to have suffered no ill effects from hosting those children before, and I regret how reluctant I was to do so. I may have put on outwardly, or even in my own mind, the idea that I was afraid of endangering them, but to be honest, I was unable to trust even what turned out to be innocent, traumatized children. I must resolve to be more helpful, as the rest of you are, so I will certainly join you in this.
We are all in this together. I suppose my asking you for help. Oh, right, but it's a bit of a formality. You are here. And so, the more hands, the better. I have no idea if I can promise you coin, but I can promise you that it will help us all survive the night, yourselves included. You may certainly have room and board at my father's home for helping us. But actually, if I could ask of you one other favor. We have some bottles of fire bottles, we call them. Just the arena makes them, and they should be ready around this time. I wondered if you would bring 1 crate of them to each barricade before you come and man this, come and defend the square.
I will carry them for you. They cannot be too heavy.
No, they're not heavy. It's about a half dozen in each crate, so it's certainly not heavy.
Perhaps the rest of us will even help you carry something this time, Sam.
It would be nice.
I'm not very strong, but I'll try.
I am much obliged, and we are very lucky you're here. If you leave the tavern and head on the main road south, you will run into, it is the tallest building in town. It's called the Burgomaster's Mansion. Mansion is probably a bit overstating it, but it is a nice place. My father and my sister Irina are there, and they will be, I'm sure, happy to greet you as I have been. I will, having checked the eastern barricade, I will take my place at the western barricade, make sure those are sturdy as well. And perhaps if the Morning Lord wills it, I will see you afterward, perhaps. Thank you all. He'll stand, buckle back on his swords, and he'll say, "Fight well, Eric. And you, Ismark." He will exit the tavern. Eric will say, "Be happy to give you one more drink, but seeing as I have some place to be, this will be last call, I think."
No more for me.
No, thank you.
All right, then I'll start
very
getting ready
good.
to lock up. Sorry you felt that way. We do the best we can. Anyway, we'll lock up now, if you don't mind. As he said, the Burgomaster's mansion is just south down the road.
Sam gets up and
Lyria
begins
will stand up
walking.
to go. Yeah. Lyria will cast a side eye, not pleased look at the drunk guy in the corner.
He seems to have exited at some point,
Okay.
stumbling out. Yeah. So he's not there.
Got it.
How long has this scene been going on?
I would say, given everything, time is funny in D&D. I would say it's about 2 hours or 90 minutes until sundown, and after that could happen anytime.
But how long have we been in the tavern?
An hour, let's say.
Okay. So we'd be able to call that a short rest.
Yeah, sure.
I knew you.
Oh, David, I do not think that I clicked long rest on Sam, but you should do that.
I will do that.
You should do that.
Or not, and we roll the dice with it.
Roll the dice.
We made Sam stay up all night just watching.
It wasn't
Oh,
actually.
bother.
Wait, he actually did stay up
Oh,
all
yeah,
night
'cause he can, right?
watching.
He can. That's kind of his thing.
It's kind of a thing.
Well, we poked him a lot, so he couldn't rest.
We literally kept watches just to bother him.
As you guys exit the tavern, you can see that as you look at the eastern barricade, there are some people over there now, and the western barricade, you can see Ismark now at the far end of the western road. Road heading south toward the big building is wide open.
South then.
As you walk
South to get those crates.
south toward the mansion, it's not a very big village, so it's not very long before you hear the sound of raised voices. And when you are approaching this mansion, you can see that there's a dozen villagers that are outside the manor, and it appears to be some sort of mob. They're holding pitchforks and axes. There's a couple people that just have brooms. There's a woman at the front, and she's speaking, and she says, "Give her up, Colion. Your defenses have held the devil at bay, but they haven't ended his scourge. It's time to take matters into our own hands." You see the front door open, and an older man, pretty fine clothes, the first really fine clothes you've seen since you've been here. He is leaning very heavily on a cane. His leg appears to be bandaged and wounded at the moment. He's also got a bandage around his forehead. Next to him is a young woman. She has long red hair. She's got a very impressive and robust-looking steel breastplate, and she has what appears to be a rapier at her side. Their faces are tense, especially hers. And the man will come and stand and he'll say, "Go home, Alenka. The rest of you as well. As long as I am Burgomaster, I will not permit this madness."
What is the meaning of this disturbance? Should you not be making for the walls? For shame, you leave the barricades to turn upon each other in this your hour of challenge. The dawn will only come if you are there to meet it.
Make a persuasion check.
And I say,
13.
yeah.
Does anybody else feel like Daddy Sam is mad at us all right now? Like,
13.
I like Daddy Sam.
That's scary.
13. Few of them do start to sort of look at each other, but they don't disperse. And the woman just moves her eyes to the side, and she sort of takes the measure of all of you. Sort of like everyone, they notice how different you are, but strange times. And she'll say, "If you know the Morning Lord, then you would know that making a sacrifice to a vampire is not madness, but common sense. Legends say the devil Strahd enjoys preying upon red-haired women. If her blood might win his favor, if her death might save scores of others, including children, how can we do otherwise?"
How dare you invoke the Morning Lord for such madness? The Morning Lord protects, he does not abandon. His gaze covers all and sees all. It does not turn aside because of fear. You worship something, but it is not Lathander.
She'll look up to the sky and she'll say, "We've not had a glimpse of this Morning Lord my entire life. Not once. It is all well and good for you, whatever you are, to say that we are not forsaken. You will change your tune before the end." The old man calling will say, "You are a fool if you believe that surrendering Irina or anyone else will appease this devil. You know he will never be appeased. You are grasping for answers in a world that has none to offer. We are Barovians. We do not turn around. She is not a Barovian. And you know it. She's not one of us, and you're going to choose us. If you're going to choose her over us, neither are you." Napoleon says, "How dare you?" And he starts to fall, nearly crumpling. Irina holds him up, and as soon as she gets him still, she whips out that rapier and she says, "Get back. You will not lay a finger on my father. Go home. Go to the walls. Either way, if blood must spill tonight to keep my father safe. Blood will spill tonight anyway. Perhaps we ought not to waste it. Oh, now." She looks at you guys and specifically at Sam. She says, "You." Now that someone clearly martial has gone ahead and bared steel between you guys and the point of Irina's rapier, the crowd will sort of mutteringly look around and mutteringly disperse, and Alenka will just sort of look. "How do you know these newcomers are not just spies for the Devil Strahd?"
If he
Well,
were
you
going
don't
to
seem-
use, if you were
Go
going to use spies, wouldn't he make them less obvious?
Perhaps that's the ruse.
Well, you don't seem all that knowledgeable about everything that's going on here. So if we are going to sacrifice anyone, I think you should be it. I'll be happy to help.
he'll do it.
It will be nice and dramatic.
If my blood would satisfy the Lord Strahd, I would have done it days ago.
Somehow
Then
I
do
don't
it.
think you know that.
Perhaps not. She'll look at Irina and say, "But it is not me that he wants."
Can I enter?
Please?
Is there anything on her person like that looks of note? Like is she carrying a bag or?
Other than the armor and the rapier, she does have a sort of pack slung to the side. It's not very big, probably only about that big, but it's hung off the back.
I'm talking about the evil lady that wants to sacrifice.
No, she's wearing a ugly red dress. What I want to call it a bandana, but I suppose that word would not exist. But some sort of kerchief, holding her hair back, oily. Looks like she hasn't slept in weeks.
So Oksana is not happy with the way that this person is treating her town. So after she makes a statement about like wanting to sacrifice her or thinking she should, she is going to walk around her as they communicate and attempt to swipe, either take or unfurl her bandana bonnet or whatever it is, just to spite her so it fell off onto the ground in the mud and blood.
Okay. You being the one moving, I'll have you make a sleight of hand check.
I was hoping this. Okay. That's a good one. Let's hope it's you. Oh, 19.
Ooh. She's completely, between daggers, she's staring at Kolyan and Irina and the rest of your friends. She doesn't even notice, and as you rip this off her head, you can feel the oil from her hair in your hands, and it's almost like the inside has died, as though, again, she hasn't done just not washed this or her hair or anything else in a very long time. It's just sort of, and the old man will say, "Please leave her be. They're all confused, but the Barovians all the same."
He's a coward.
Go home, Aleka. Sorry, say it again?
You drop something, and I will press to digitate that her hair is no longer greasy because Oksana does not want to stare at it. It's not nice. It is more for Oksana.
She seems sort of taken aback, and she goes, "You're all devils as well."
You're a coward.
Thank you.
She just looks at you, Lyriel, and she says, "I'd rather be a coward than dead." She'll turn and start to walk away, slowly.
Lyra will stick her tongue out at her behind her head.
Coward dies 1,000 deaths before the end. The believer dies only one.
Irina will sheathe the blade, and this time she'll say, "Thank you. You are well met. I'm Irina. This is my father, Kolyan. He is the burgomaster of this village. Would you, I think we, yes, we would like, let us please have you dinner this evening. We're not used to cooking for so many, but it will be a pleasure to meet new people, and this was not the welcome to Barovia I would want for you. Did you meet Ismark? Did my son greet you already?"
Yeah, just was going to say, this wasn't the welcome we got. Ismark welcomed us first.
Yes, and Sam does not eat. That one, whichever where he is on screen, Sam does not eat. So
very well. I will just be forward. Is Sam, you said his name is?
Oh, yes. Yes,
you may call me Sam.
Sam, I
sorry,
must ask, you do not seem to be alive. What is it that, and maybe he looks at the rest of you too, like, what is it that powers him?
Lathander.
I've been wondering the same thing.
The Morning Lord works in mysterious ways.
He still startles me when I catch him in the corner of my eye, but he's done nothing but help for the short time that I've known him, so you can be unconcerned.
Very well. Please, come in. He'll kind of use his cane. He's leaning real heavily on it. He'll kind of gesture. As you walk past him, you can see that this is probably not too old to fight. He does not seem particularly frail. You can see that underneath those clothes there is a musculature that is still there, and he very likely was wounded in a battle. As you step into this house, it is, again, suppose you could call it a mansion, but it is humble if that is possible. There's a small chandelier above you, and a hallway leading to the right. It's a fairly big room, but pretty spare. There's a stag's head on the wall and a couple of tapestries that show hunting type things. There seems to be one hallway downstairs, one hallway upstairs, probably bedrooms in both. And judging from the smell, the kitchen would be through the door to your left.
Thank you for welcoming us into your home.
Would it
Hello?
appear to be like 700 years old? Okay.
No.
That's the answer to that. Okay.
No, I had to see it in my mind to think. It does not look that old. If this building has always been on this side, it has been erected much more. Erected. It's not quite as bad as in the Thursday night game I said that we needed to cleanse the taint on a village, and it was...
God,
You gotta
I'm
keep
gonna
it
have so
clean.
much to edit.
That's why I use a bidet.
You're taking this
Cleaning
out?
the,
Solid.
cleaning the taint, Daddy Sam. It's a good episode for editing.
It appears
That's hitting. That's hitting, by the way.
it appears the house has been built much more recently than that, or rebuilt, perhaps. Olyan will head over into the kitchen, sort of pushes the door open. Irina will say, "You'll have to excuse us. It's a bit sparse, having a lot of trouble getting supplies, as you might imagine. It is a stew, turnips, and what rabbit meat we have. Please, we have a large table large enough to accommodate you. Please come sit."
We thank you for your hospitality, but Ismark did give us a duty. I want to make sure that we can accomplish it before the darkness falls, that we are to deliver some bottled fire of some sort.
Yes,
Oh, yes,
we
the
have
fire
to
bottles.
carry the fire bottles.
Oksana's have had seat already, and if there's food on the table, she started eating it.
Olyan will kind of walk over with the food, and she'll say, "I'll get the fire bottles ready. Just have to pack them, make sure they're packed safe, as you might imagine. They being bottles filled with fire, sort of. But eat. You. We want you strong. You have obviously traveled much of the day, so we'll eat. We'll eat quickly." She'll go out, and he'll say, he sort of carries this stew, and he'll put it on the table, on something to protect the table, and he'll say, "All right, I brought bowls. Please serve yourselves."
Sam will begin serving his friends because he wants to be useful during the meal.
They're so useful.
As you look at this, it's sort of seems to be a dining room kitchen kind of in one room. The kitchen is visible; it's not a separate room. You
that
can
normal?
see as you sort of look. Wouldn't be normal for a town master where you are from, no.
Yeah, I would think the dining room and the kitchen would be.
And there would probably be people serving. There would be help and cooks and all that sort of thing. This appears to be more of a do-it-yourself enterprise. The stew looks thin, but turnips and rabbit meat look palatable.
Gumma goes
Larry will eat.
hog wild for it.
It's pretty good. You're hungry. There's not as much of it as you'd like, and as you sort of go to look, take 4 seconds, you find that there's really not any seconds to take. Irina will return, and she'll say, "I put the crates by the door, so they'll be there when you're ready to go. But let's sit and eat."
Can Lyriel add some spices to her own and then try to slip some into other folks' as well?
Sure. Make a sleight of hand check if you're slipping spices into other people's bowls.
Is there a way to help my proficient?
She's not trying to be sneaky about it. She's just trying to help.
I thought you used the verb sneak.
I mean, they don't know what the spices are. She's just putting spices in everybody's bowl.
Oh, I see. Well then, will not require a roll if you're doing it openly. He'll say, I'll be interested to try something from another land. I have not seen but heard tell of groups somewhat like you all in the past. I assume you came to be here by some sort of accident."
I'm
Weather.
not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure accident is the word we would use. We were kind of guided here.
It's not
What
on
is your
purpose on
world
our end.
like? Beyond the mists.
Lively. Colder.
I'm sorry, I have not ever gotten to speak to anyone from outside.
Really, I mean, the outfit here. I mean, I would love to speak to the tailor, once we get all of this on their way, because we need to get some better fabrics, more like these.
I sort of look at Irina and say, do we know if Hogger is alive? Just say, he was yesterday. I haven't gone by the shop this morning.
Or maybe it's
He said-
not his profession.
Tailoring is low on the priority list. Do you need supplies? Irina would be happy to show you to Bildreth's Mercantile. You will remember that Bildreth is the drunk in the tavern who was yelling and very
Yeah.
cruel.
Speaking only for myself, I'm fine for tonight.
Oh, all right then. Let me. Oh, do you have any questions for us? I hope that his mark was forthcoming. I imagine he was.
I was
Quite
kind of
honorable.
curious.
Oh, please.
So they say that was it Bildreth, the one that was shouting? Is that the
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So she does not correct me if I'm wrong, because my headset lost its mind during that time.
Good. You're good.
Did anyone address the fact that her beautiful hair was subject of debate of killing her? Is
You
this a
didn't-
problem?
You did hear that as you were walking up. The mob was saying, Strahd likes girls with red hair. If we sacrifice her, we can save everyone else. That was the purpose of the mob, was to take her. And
Okay. So
the
can you
castle,
tell
yeah.
me what you know about Strahd and red hair people? Gummer has red hair and he is small, so I would be worried that he might be taken easily by bats or things like this.
I will not let the bats take Gummer.
I thought you said the taints. Oh my god.
Jesus.
I started to say I will not let the takes bat Gummer, but I stopped myself, checked myself, and reversed myself.
At a very unfortunate point.
Check myself and reverse myself. It's a Missy Elliott song, I think.
Would the bats be able to pick Gummer up?
Hell no.
He's small.
He's small, but he's wide.
Honestly, it probably would take more bats than. I was going to say would take more bats than surface area of Gummer, but it's close.
Well, yes, I want to know about this hair thing. I'm very worried for my friend and for beautiful lady here. I mean, strong lady,
It's probably all nonsense. Most of the legends about Strahd seem to be, at least they seemed to be, nonsense. We'd no idea other than what we've all heard growing up as children. Probably just to be cruel, as children often are. She says, Irina will say, I don't feel as though I'm in any more danger than anyone else based on the color of my hair. It's just, like Father said, they're confused, they're desperate. They'll try anything to make it stop. They are, and I'll not be going. I can understand them. There are many things I would do if I thought it would work to make it stop.
Well, if you need more red-headed people, you have Gummer. And then, maybe I can find another red-headed lady to accompany and join us in this redhead party that they will not kill us.
Irina will smile at you, Gummer, and she'll say, I think Gummer, his hair's an absolutely perfect shape. You should all be so lucky.
We should all be so lucky.
It could use a brush.
No, it is wonderfully coiffed.
I think it suits him.
It's a little tangled.
Gummer, you have girlfriend now. I mean, partner.
She'll just kind of shake her head and kind of laugh. Olian will say, I'm sure Ismark told you most of it. Siege began 6 days ago. We got 90 days warning from, I believe his name is Rahadin. I think that is his name. He did not say, but I do sometimes, or have in the past, met with really only 3 towns or villages of any size. This is the smallest. Alaki is to the west, and Kreshk further than that. The leaders of those towns we have met. I do not expect I will be meeting with the Baron of Vallaki again anytime soon, which would be by my choice. However, we have met
hold on.
the past.
Why would that not be your choice?
Oh, he's an asshole.
What kind?
A bad one. Are there good assholes where you're from?
Well, there is spectrum, like one way, and then big asshole, small asshole, medium,
This man is at the bottom. Unintended. Anyway, I can't even remember what I was saying.
So this Rahadan was the one. You're the one that they talked to.
Yes, Rahadan went to the town square and they waited while I was fetched. When Ismark told me it was there, I of course came to try to listen, try to help, and I did recognize this Rahadan. We have talked about him in these meetings. That's what I was going to say.
He is a minion of Strahd's.
Do you have any idea why he gave you 90 days? Why not just attack?
Sit up and he'll say, "You ever see cats play with their food? I think it's fun for him, watching us scurry. There would be the fun in wiping us all out right away. And do you all have any sort of martial training, strategy type things? It's a question I've been dying to ask someone with some sort of knowledge, and there's no one here but me."
I have a little.
All right. There are thousands of undead in the forests surrounding here. If they were all come to the village at once, it would be endless waves, and there's no way some wood could stop them. They could kill us all anytime they want. But they don't. They send a dozen, 2 dozen sometimes. The west barricade, all the east barricade. Only once have they gone to both. Why? Why not just kill us all?
It is as you said. He drinks cruelty as one drinks wine with their supper. He wishes to watch you. He wishes to toy with you. It is the survivors that are of value.
Think about what just happened out in front of your house. Get you to turn on each other.
Yes, I'm
The
sure you're right.
temptation to despair. That is the enemy's weapon. Temptation to despair.
This is why I try very hard to find happiness in despair. Like I play with the dead bodies, or take my. Okay, I'm tired, and
it's a metaphor.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
she didn't really do that. No, she's just Oksana, hush.
Yes, sorry. I spoke about things I don't know. I heard about it. And Oksana's literally going to fade in background, look around
like music at a funeral. Finding joy in the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Skill we've not yet learned. Perhaps it is the grace of the Morning Lord to spare us. Or perhaps it is Strahd's cruelty that is winning the day right now. But I must say, your answers are insightful, and you are, if I might say it, quite an impressive group, if somewhat unconventional by our standards.
As he says that, I think Gummer has lifted part of his beard and is sucking the leftover soup out of it.
Oksana's tossing her hair.
Koyan will say, assuming any of us survive the night, will you be traveling to any other town here, Vallaki or Kreshk? If you are, I don't know if they would listen, but they might be more receptive to you if I were to write some sort of letter of introduction, vouching for you, as it were. I feel very comfortable doing so, even though we've known each other such a brief time.
I don't think we have any plans right now.
Yeah, you mentioned that you've heard stories of other groups who've come. where did they go, if not here?
Dead.
Where, though? Dead where?
I don't know.
They're keeping something from us.
Make an insight check.
9.
9. Hard to tell. He seems to be choosing his words carefully, at least. He'll say, I do not have such hindsight or foresight. There is one who does, perhaps. But you might meet her. I do not subscribe to such things myself, but you cannot deny.
We are
Serena
in a
is- Sorry. I was just wondering where Irina is right now.
She's sitting at the table, sort of listening, looking.
Does she look worried or?
She looks worried and also very determined. It's a concern that you would see on the face of anyone in this situation, but she does not seem scared in I'm going to run sort of way.
Okay.
And you do, she's even under the breastplate, you can see broad-shouldered. When she whipped out that rapier, she was very clearly someone who has had quite a bit of martial training. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We do not know where our path will take us. Our path keeps shifting. It was not our intention to arrive here, but now we seem to be in the heart of it.
Oh. It can't hurt, anyway. Makes me feel like I'm doing something since I cannot fight, and I'll be in this house listening to it. Irina says, yes, you will be. Right. I'll be right back. Hobble out. Irina will look at you and she'll say, how did you all get here?
Everything that we say is true. Like what we say to him.
We were traveling when the mist came upon us. We were walking what should have been a familiar route, but the route became obscure, and we did not arrive where we were intending. When the mists cleared, we were in your lands.
Well, sort of your lands.
Is there anything you might have done to get his attention? Strahd, that is.
Cormac?
Well, the only thing we know that connects us to this place at all, other than what we've done since we've gotten here, that each of us, I think, bears some sort of an item. I have this sort of shard of amber. We found another, that's a side story, but that seemed to guide us through the mists. I don't know if it means anything to you.
Did you get the feeling who was doing the guiding or the pulling?
It didn't seem evil, I'll say. I don't think my pocket rock would do that to me.
No, if anything, I would have thought until now that it was some forces attached to, as I said, there was another, as Gummer had mentioned, there was a not quite in your lands thing. We came to a house on the edge of a cliff, and there were some children. It belonged to a family called the Dursts. Seems to be quite lost in time, but there seemed to be a need for us to be there, and there was a similar piece of amber in that home, so I would have thought we would just pulled there, but maybe not.
I have a question, DM. Is her hair a similar color to the amber?
Ooh, good question. No, it's much more auburn.
I didn't think to ask this at any point, but do you think, and at this point I think he's forgotten about Irina and he has turned fully to Cormac. Do you think that the house was some sort of test?
I suppose it could have been. Was there any indication, because it's been some time obviously, but others here seem to know tales of people like us coming through before, but I didn't. Did we get any indication that anyone else ever survived the house? Obviously, Walter was intact.
No, Rose and Thorn told us that they heard voices and screams, I think, but that nobody had ever come to their room before.
And as you said, Walter was still there. the house was still there.
I mean, and it doesn't make sense that personally that this guy Strahd would want us in the house. I mean, right? Unless, like, well, never mind. Forget I say this. And Oksana will get up and just start looking around the room, like walking and just kind of checking things out.
It's pretty basic. It is nice. It's obviously well constructed. There's not near enough color for your taste. It's very sparse and
Family
And as-
pictures.
there's in the living room. You did see there was one family portrait that was of Kolyan sitting at a chair and Ismark and Arena behind him. Seemed to be painted when he was quite a bit younger. He had quite a bit more hair than he seems to have now. Ismark and Arena, teenagers maybe. So it's been in some time. You wouldn't say they were smiling in the portrait, but they certainly did not seem to have the cares and the worries that they have now.
Does the portrait at all seem similar to the Durst family portrait? Like same style or artistry or...
No, actually, it's entirely different.
Okay.
Super different. Like as different as two family paintings could be, almost.
It's not for like same artist because it was so long difference of time, right? Oh my god.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
One would assume.
I, for one, would hesitate to put too much emphasis on the reasons just yet. I have studied magic, but also the natural world, and I must say that sometimes even the world of magic behaves in as undetermined and fashion unconcerned with our fates as the natural world does. So I'm not sure we'll see any reason in it, certainly not soon. But we are here.
I think we just need to get through the night and figure out where to go from there.
I'd like to see the square try and figure out the best use of our efforts.
If everyone is done with the stew, perhaps it is time for us to go. Sam holds up the bowl, offering seconds.
I thought there were no seconds.
But there were no
There's
seconds.
not much left.
No, it's just whatever in Sam's bowl.
Sam get himself a bowl. So Kolyan will sort of hobble back in and he'll say, very simple, as to whom it may concern. I humbly ask that you provide the bearer of this letter with what aid you can, trust in their purpose, assist in their endeavors, and offer shelter and counsel if you are able. Please extend to them every courtesy you would afford a friend of mine. With utmost respect, me, Burgomaster, etc., etc. It has been some years since I traveled. I cannot promise you anyone will care about this letter at all, but it might open the ears of someone.
The intention is welcome.
I've seen many such letters go quite a distance, so it is much appreciated.
Based on your relationship with the man from Vallaki, maybe we won't show it to him.
If you end up in Vallaki, I'd bypass him entirely. Lady Wachter probably has more power there anyway.
Wachter?
The Vallaki also suffer under the yoke of Strahd.
Yes, of course, though seemingly not as much as we right now.
What is Lady Wachter's first name?
Have we heard this?
Yes, we have. It was
Yes,
on
you
the
have.
invitation.
Okay, great.
Right, that was her name.
So he'll say, Fiona's her first name. Is a very old Barovian family, as mine is as well. Yes, Fiona Wachter of Vallaki. She's quite formidable, quite a powerful magic wielder in her own right, and altogether more reliable than Baron Vargas. A small man, inside and out.
Size, you don't have to point it out all the time.
I was not talking to you.
There are a lot of perfectly wonderful people who happen to be on the shorter side of things.
You're very lovely, Gummer.
Baron may look down at you, but I promise you're double his size.
If there is problem, you will end up on the ground first, so you won't hit your head as fast. Just saying.
If I may ask. Oh, no, please.
No, I was just going to ask about the square. Go ahead.
Well, I'm wondering, even with our strange and unexpected appearance, everyone here has been quite quick to admit to being in need of our help for this evening, and yet expects us to perhaps move on tomorrow. What of tomorrow night and the night after? What is the? I mean, I'm sure the other villagers' desire to sacrifice the young woman is entirely superstition, but is there any expectation of an end to this punishment?
Hard question.
It is either hope that I have that it will end, or perhaps a lack of any hope at all. If this does not end, this is not your fight, and you have your own homes to go to. You have your own lives to live, so I would not presume that you would stay here indefinitely. Or perhaps this will all be over soon, one way or another.
Perhaps our appearance is some sort of catalyst we can hope.
Irina will say, we insist that you stay here with us. Our rooms, Ismark and I sleep on this floor, but all 3 rooms upstairs are available to you. I can't say how much sleep you'll be able to get or when. But if nothing else, it should provide a quiet place to rest when you're ready. If there's anything you'd like to put down there or take a look at, they're open to you now.
Well, I will go check. And
Seems polite to look at the accommodations, so I'll go poke around.
how many rooms are there? Do we have to share? Do we get to share?
We only have 2 rooms, so yes, you'll need to share, and however you might choose to do so. There are 2 beds in each room, so be able to accommodate 4 of you to lay down. I'm sure we could find some sort of bedroll or something.
I do not require a bed.
Ah, well,
Sam, you must be somewhere. Oksana
I will stand by the fire.
Okay, fine, Sam. But Oksana produces like sticks somewhere, and has who draw a short stick will have to not get to sleep in room with me. It's your turn to take
Sure,
care.
Rick.
Are you okay bunking together?
Certainly.
What is happening? No one is picking stick.
I will
Oksana,
pick a
I'll
stick.
share a room with you.
I did not want to bother your hairstyle. I wanted to, like, give everyone an opportunity to stay with my awesomeness. Just saying. And she puts them away, but they drop on floor, and you can see they are all short, except for one that she was squeezing really, really tight. That she was going to make delirium.
This is
so
like
as
the
you enter
sting
these
operation.
rooms,
Forget it. Silly joke. Pointless.
Is
as you
there?
enter, as you enter these rooms, they are well apportioned, nothing fancy. Then the first one, Irina shows you, there's a scarf on the dresser, and she'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, let me take that." She'll get it, and she'll actually put it on. She'll say, yes, so there's this room. Got a nightstand there. These drawers are yours to use. Doesn't look like you've brought a lot of clothes, but they're yours if you like. And the other room is basically identical.
Sorry, this is your room.
Oh, no, sorry. Ismark and I have our respective rooms downstairs, actually.
Then why was your stuff in here?
I was visiting with our last boarder. I'm not sure how you would put it. I'll be honest, I do come in here from time to time to... Being in here makes me think about those who are gone, like Alanik, Doru, and all of them. And it feels less real in this room than it does in mine. My room, I seem to see their faces on the walls and the ceiling and the windows.
We were in the house like that. You might want to check the basement.
I don't have a basement, luckily. The house you were in was caused you to mourn, or what do you mean by the same?
There was a lot of mourning that needed to happen in it.
Arrows had left their mark and their stain.
It was pretty messed up. But your house is lovely.
Thank you. Yes, I've not spoken to anyone in this room since Alanik, our last boarder, was here, and he, of course, marched off with Doru, which was surprising.
What does he look like?
Alanik was wispy hair, bit of a thick white beard. He was a scholar from a distant land, he said. He would never tell us the name of it. And it was odd. He had a pet monkey, of all things. It's quite a mess. And whenever we asked why he was here, he would say he was studying Barovian history and ecology. I can't imagine anything more boring. He was very curious, intense man, didn't speak a lot. I did come once in a while and ask if he needed anything while he was here. Mostly he took long walks in the woods, and I do remember there was... I guess it happened the morning before he left. The morning before he left, he and Doru had a furious argument just outside the window there, and I couldn't help but hear it. It was so loud. And so then when Alanik went with Doru the next morning for their rebellion, I was very surprised. I thought, why would you go with someone you were fighting with? Anyway, I don't know that any of it matters. As I said, these drawers are yours. If you have anything to put in them, now you certainly can.
And I'll be looking through them as well, but did he happen to leave any of his effects or papers behind, or anything like that?
She starts opening drawers. Not that I know of. Oh. Here is something. She'll pull out a page. It seems to be a page ripped out of a book, and she says, I've never seen this before at all. And she'll hand it to
Did
you.
we read that?
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at it.
Has she really never seen that before?
Make an insight check.
Ooh,
I suppose I should. Oh, good.
that is 22.
22. She's telling the truth. She's surprised. So, who's looking at the book page?
I think I would want to.
Very good. Cormac, this seems to be an excerpt of a book about vampires. It goes at great length on both sides about what vampires are, what their strengths and weaknesses are, how to kill them, how difficult that might be. This is a lot of information. Seems to be written by someone who has quite a bit of experience. It's very convincing.
He seems to have known his study. These are quite adept notes, sort of a field guide on vampires, it seems. Is there any
Okay.
chance I've ever heard this guy's name?
There's no name on it.
No, well, I mean, she said his name, right?
No, she didn't.
Oh, okay. I thought this was this.
Yes,
She's about to. Anyway, sorry.
Even Alanek was his
Yeah,
name.
I thought that was.
Alan, yes, I apologize.
Okay.
Alanik was the scholar who was in this room last.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
but not
that's
this.
who I
Never
meant
mind,
so
that's
far,
okay.
but
Yes, you're absolutely right. Alanik the scholar was the last person in this room. She will look and she'll say, Adoru owned a book about vampires that he loved. I remember it was called Van Richten's Guide to Vampires. It was a whole book, and I would love to read it. Strange.
this is a portion.
It is wise to know one's enemy.
Doesn't seem to have done Doru any good, unfortunately.
do you think he would still be somewhere in town?
Oh. Doesn't no. Doru marched off. Alanik marched with him. I've no idea who this Van Richten is, so. Don't know.
You have not seen these people how long?
97 days. Exactly.
Exactly. You liked someone. You were close.
Doru was a friend. Nothing more than that, just a friend. There aren't very many children born in Barovia. Almost all families seem to only be able to have one. There's very few siblings, some, but not very many. So there were not a lot of children to play with. So of course Doru and I grew up together, and he was handsome, and he was smart, and he was brave. one had a chance at that revolution, perhaps it was Doru, but obviously he's not come back, nor has anyone else, so. Ismark wanted to go with him, but I knew. I knew they would never return. I told them so, but Doru was also very stubborn, and once he got something into his head, like his father is Father Donovich, the village priest. He's a kind man, very resolute, very faithful, also stubborn. Anyway, it seems, she looks out the window, I imagine it is time for you to go and bring the 5 bottles and what does this Mark have you doing?
The town
Guarding
square
the square.
must be defended against any that break through.
Last line of defense, Ismark must think a lot of you. I'm sure his feelings are right.
We will not fail you. Dawn will come.
It is a strange thing. I'm not going to go tonight. I had fought the first 4 nights alongside everyone else. Everyone really able to fight has. It's only the very old and the very young and the sick in the tents. When Father was wounded last night and tonight, I'll be here with him. He must be defended as well. And it's a funny thing. I very much regret not being able to fight. You struggle for life so hard, and survival is so important. And then when there's a chance to fight and perhaps die, it's like it's in our nature to want to do that if it's for the right reason. Do you feel that way?
I feel
Can
called
one of
to
us
my
stay here with
duty.
you?
Oh, no, please do not. She'll nod at the rapier. I can take care of whatever may be. Those in the square need your help much more than I do. Father is weak and wounded, but I imagine he's got a hand crossbow somewhere around here that he'll be sporting just in case. No, please defend the square. Defend the square. If you defend the square, then it is unlikely anything will even get this far. And I have all the faith in the world you'll be able to do so. You look very like you can handle yourselves. So anyway, come back here, and these will be your rooms for the night. So let's get going.
Blessings of the
Sure.
morning Lord follow you, Irina.
Thank you. You as well. She'll walk down and she'll hand. Here's 1 crate for the west, 1 crate for the east. Who's going to carry them?
Sam will.
Gumbo can take half of the other one, but he's not very strong.
So they are just bottles of wine. The smell sounds like they've definitely turned, whether they've been monkeyed with or whether they're just old. It's hard to tell. And there are rags in, and apparently you just light it and toss it.
Molotov cocktail.
Is
Yes.
it like from Homeland?
That's what we're saying. Okay.
Yes. Mechanically, this would work like alchemist's fire. This would be the same thing. Would it come to that in any sort of battle? She'll say, "All right then. Fight well. Fight hard. Sure you will. We'll see you afterwards. See you for breakfast then."
Oh
Can
yes.
someone take the other side of this one?
Yes, of course I can help.
I
We
will
redheads
carry
are
something
so
and
delicate,
follow.
you know. Sorry, Miss Alexandra?
Oh, I was going to say I will carry something and follow, watching Cormac. Having his back.
So as you walk up, you can see that the square there's a couple of campfires around it that have lit it well enough. You don't see the older young people that you saw. They seem to all be in tents already for whatever protection that will give them. As you approach, there are a few people who are coming from different sides of the road, different sides of the street. They're all armed in some way. you actually see Bildreth, in fact, and he's got a crossbow. And he'll call out and say, Periwimple, we're on the west with Ismark. Periwimple, you'll see, he said that Periwimple was his nephew, was the son of his sister who had died in one of the battles. Periwimple is enormous. He's about a half a head taller than Sam and as broad as a barn, a thick sort of brown hair, and he's carrying like a giant spear. And he says, "We're going to fight." And he says, No. Just stay with me. Remember? We hold the door. Hold the door! Right. Hold the door. They'll walk up towards the west.
Ew, I still have trauma. You can't do that to me.
You are now in the square. It's pretty quiet. You can look, if you look to the west barricade, you can see that there's people there, some torches. It looks like the barricades have a couple of levels. There's some people down below to kind of keep the door shut, but they've also built like a second level so that archers can sort of be above and shoot down at whatever undead may be coming. Both sides look like they have, maybe 10 people each.
Well, let's deliver those fire bottles to them. It'll give them a little bit of an edge.
You gonna split up or all together?
Let's efficiently and split up. Sam will go to the east, and Governor Cormac can go to the west.
Sure.
That's fine.
So-
It doesn't sound huge, so.
Armor and Cormac, when you go, you will, Ismark will be there, and Ismark will say, "We've got them. Thank you. We'll take them up here." He'll just sort of grab them up, and he's sort of standing on top. No sign of anything yet. You will get plenty of warning. It will be loud. All right. I shop. Sam, as you walk to the east, it will be Eric the bartender who will turn and say, "Fire bottles. Great. We'll take those up here."
Sam
Look down,
place
you say,
them.
"Right, well,
The morning Lord be with you. We will see you at dawn.
at dawn. See you at dawn." As you walk back toward the town square, you stand at attention, and it's pretty quiet. There's, from the west, it sounds like there's sort of a, you'd call it a howl if it wasn't so screech, like a screeching howl. Sound like you've never heard. And then there's another and another. They're all coming from the west. A rain starts to fall. And you hear Ismark call out, "A shop! They're coming!" You will hear the sounds of footfalls and gurgling sounds heading towards that western barricade. You start to hear the thunk of arrows being loosed. And Ismark saying, "Hold them! Hold them! We'll be all right, just stick together." It sounds like there's a lot of them. And you'll hear one of the people on top shout to Ismark, "There's too many! Too many!" And you're standing here just looking and feel very helpless. You hear nothing to the east at all. And if you look that way, the people in the east are just sort of standing around. Eventually,
Be friends.
you start hearing screams on this side of the western barricade. A body will fall, some sort of arrow inside of it, an arrow like you've never seen, although it's far away. There's stench. Smell of death is wafting in this, and the rain is stirring up. So there's death on the very road in the square, and that sort of stirring that up. And eventually, you hear Ismark shout to you guys, and he'll say, "Tell those on the east, we need them here, now! The attack is to the west tonight, we need all the men we can get, but you stay!"
Which one of us is fastest?
You go.
I go.
Sam, you clomp down the street. The people on the east wall are far enough, and you realize as you get far enough away, they can't hear what's happening. And they sort of turn with a start towards you. And they say, What is it?
To the west, to the western barricade now. Ismark calls for aid.
Come on, everyone! They all sort of come down and they sort of run past you in the square. You hear the sound of the barricades it sounds like wood slowly cracking. So there's a pressure on the outside, and Harry Wimple's got his back up against the door, and everyone sort of is trying to help him that's down there. The archers have given up, and they're sort of just everyone is now trying to hold up this wall as this sound screeches. Another howl.
We couldn't hear you.
This one. You hear another howl. This time from the east. And racing toward you. The barricade seeming to have been opened from the inside are screeching undead. As they streak towards you, and you prepare, holding yourselves ready. We will find out how we do next week. And we will defend the town square from a horde of undead.
And it was so good to have David back.
Yes, very much
And
so.
thanks, Reese, for hanging in there. You weren't feeling well.
Good night, everyone. See you next Monday. Good night.